Hello everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. Firstly, Happy New Year 2023. Where has that last year gone? I don't know. You're going to hear it in my voice. I do apologise. Secondly, I do apologise about about the lack of uploads over Christmas. I have had that horrible flu chesty thing that's been going around. And it's been absolutely minging. And I'm still getting over it. So if I cough or splutter or just hack up something awful in the next 10 minutes or so, I do apologise. Really, this is a video that's going to round up the last 4 beers out of the Trembling Madness Advent Calendar because this idiot tried to charge his GoPro. Not whilst it was filming, but I kind of had it plugged in. So every time I'd done the last 4 beers in one batch. And basically, I had the GoPro plugged into my phone charger, and what the GoPro did was try to get the audio source from the phone charger. So I've got these videos. I filmed I filmed this roundup video also. So I've got 50 minutes of videos with just nothing, no sound at all. So we're going to do it all here now. So we'll go through the last couple of beers then. The 21st of December was a Roosters American wheat beer with orange peel and coriander. I rated that a 3.5 out of 5. I didn't. The American wheat beer, I remember tasting at the time. Obviously, it's now a good few weeks ago now. 5.2%, 440 can. I remember tasting at the time, and I remember saying throughout the whole review, I wasn't quite sure what an American wheat beer was because this wasn't really a wheat beer as I would know it. A wheat beer with orange peel and coriander. I've had a few of those in my time. But yeah, that didn't really hit the spot. But it was nice. It was nice enough. It was very drinkable. It was very refreshing, and it was very light. But it just didn't quite have that oomph of a wheat beer. So I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. The 22nd of December bought this out, and it was a maple and pecan stout, and it was from New Bristol Brewery, as you can probably tell from the branding, in collaboration with Pen Trick. Maple syrup and pecan stout, 7.5% in a 440 can. That was delicious, absolutely delicious. I had the Cinder Toffee stout from New Bristol Brewery when I don't want to say when it first came out, but it was a couple of years ago now, before it went mad on Instagram and everything. It wasn't quite as good as that, so which is why I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. But it was a very good stout, and I'd highly recommend you pick one of these up. It was absolutely delicious. I remember the adjuncts of the maple syrup and the pecan worked so well. You could still tell it was a very good stout behind those adjuncts. And yeah, really rated that. That was a 4.5. Then we went on to this, and it was a beer from Tuol, and it was called Santa Go's F It All Pastry Edition, pastry sour with tropical fruit. I really quite like that. I gave that a 4 out of 5. Really fruity. Did have a nice saltiness to it. It was a slightly sour. The pastry element of it was absolutely there. Yeah, really quite a nice beer. It's 4%? I can't remember. What was the ABV on this? Yeah, 4%. Super drinkable, super refreshing. Not a style I'd normally drink, but that was very good from Tuol. And we finished with a bang, an absolute bang from Three Hills, and the beer is called Coordinates, and it's a Christmas chocolate orange bock. So those if you don't know, a bock is a dark lager. So you kind of think a Christmas. So it had a slight spiciness, chocolate orange bock. It just didn't seem. I read it and I was like, oh, okay. But it worked really well. It's absolutely lovely. I've never had a beer like that before. It had all those really lovely dark bready caramel notes with that fresh malty lager backbone to it. But the chocolate and the orange, it was a spiced orange. I do remember. It worked really well. Yeah, and I gave that a 5 out of 5. That was a really good way to end it. That was the 24th. So, sorry to run through those beers. I just didn't want to voice dub over some old videos and what have you. So, this Trembling Madness Advent Calendar then. 110 quid, 24 beers, worked out, what was it, £4? Let me just quickly do the maths again. I can't remember. I've said it quite a lot through the reviews. It worked out. Where's my calculator? It worked out at divided by 24, £4.58 a beer. Just to put some context on that, I've just had a delivery today actually of some beers from Trembling Madness and delivered, and I chose them obviously. There was a lager, a couple of pales, a session pale, there was a double IPA in there, an IPA, and that worked out at over £5 delivered. 440 to 500 cans. So on the face of it, when you look at can price, there was a saving to be had doing it this way. Some of the beers in there were sensational. There were 2 or 3 that were like undrinkable. Hated them. I mean, what was it? There was that Funky Fluid Neon Raptor collaboration. There was that Alpha Delta Canna Brew thing. Then there was that Vocation Naughty and Nice Milky Way stout. I just didn't enjoy those beers. They were the 3 of the worst beers in the box. But generally speaking, the box. I mean, if you averaged out all the scores, you're probably still talking averaging over 4 out of 5 for the whole box. And yeah, I think it worked really, really well. Looking at some other calendars that were available at the time, it probably is a little bit more expensive than, say, like the Beer Company one. I know Simon from Real Ale Craft Beer done the Virgin Wines one that I believe was about 60 quid, I think he said. It was a better quality one than all the Aldi and Lidl ones that cost 50, 60 quid. So you are talking nearly double the money, but you're getting bigger cans and you're getting much, much better beer. The quality of the beer was insane. I absolutely loved the massive variety of styles. I mean, just the last 4 styles here. We've got an American wheat beer, a pastry goza, a stout, and then like a kind of sweet bock beer. That's the last 4 beers. So I cannot knock it. And the calendar absolutely hit the nail on the head in terms of variety of breweries as well. There were so many breweries that I haven't had anything from where I was like, wow, like or been recently reintroduced back into certain breweries. If I think of breweries that I haven't had anything from or only had a couple of bits from, Pentrick, fantastic boat. There was a double IPA from Pentrick, and there was that collaboration with New Bristol Brewery, fantastic. Baron, St Mars. I've had to cut. There was 3 Hills. I drink a bit of 3 Hills anyway. I mean, there was just some fantastic beers in there, and they didn't let go. They didn't hold back on the styles. There were impy stouts, double IPAs, expensive fruit. The Yonder, Vault City Yonder collaboration, that sour early on, Fruitful, I think it was called. Overall, I think the choice of breweries, there was hardly a brewery replicated in there. I mean, Pentrick were in there twice, but only won a collaboration. There were hardly any repetitions from breweries. The styles started off quite similar. The first sort of 10 days, I think it was something like 4 IPA. In the first 10 days, there wasn't much sort of variety. But actually, as the calendar really kicked on, it really improved. The ultimate question is, would I buy it again? And this, just to be clear, this is the Trembling Madness variety calendar. There was a couple of different ones. I think there was an IPA one, I think there's a stout one, and all the rest of it. And the overall answer is yes. I've really, really enjoyed the beers. It's opened my eyes. I mean, sours. I went on. I have to say, not that I bought one, but I went on Trembling Madness website a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh, what sours have they got? And it's kind of got me looking. So it's kind of got me looking at sours more than usual. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to I knew it would throw a few curveballs at me, and I knew it would take me out of my comfort zone with some of the beers and some of the breweries and all the rest of it. I mean, the Schwarzbock from St Mars Brewery up in Sheffield, my God, it was probably one of the best beers I had all year. I wouldn't have had it. I probably would never have heard, or I wouldn't have heard of St Mars Brewery for a long time if I hadn't have had this calendar. So yeah, I would absolutely buy this again. I think £110 is about right. I think because you are kind of buying in bulk, so there should be a saving to be had there. But overall, yeah, Trembling Madness have absolutely killed it with this calendar. I've absolutely loved doing it. Who knows what we're going to do next year? Who knows? I don't know. But It's absolutely going to be a contender for next year, Trembling Madness, and it will be the variety one. I don't want to get the same. Do you know what I mean? I think you'd find it boring as well watching it if it was just all IPAs or all stouts. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the past month with this calendar, and yeah, I can't say fairer than that. How would I rate the whole calendar then? How would I rate it? The whole experience. It's a 5 out of 5. There was only a couple of bad beers. The calendar arrived really quickly. The calendar it stood up. It's not fallen apart. It's actually, I know it looks a bit battered. It's really not. The whole experience of buying it was easy. This was actually a pre-order. It was just everything was just perfect with it. Perfect. A couple of beers I didn't necessarily like, but hey, that's probably my choice. But yeah, overall, it was absolutely brilliant. So thanks, Trembling Madness. I really appreciate it. Well, I know I paid for it, but yeah, just thanks for providing a good service and a good product. Yeah, there you go. Guys, yet again, I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope you had a fantastic New Year. I really appreciate you being patient with me. I'm back fighting fit now, so let's see where this goes. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe if you would be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.